7 fascinating facts about the Loch Ness Monster. For more than 1,000 years, the Loch Ness Monster has been a source of intrigue and mystery. The world has been captivated by the seas of Britain's greatest freshwater body ever since its earlier reported sighting till the present. Large freshwater Loch Ness is located in the Scottish Highlands, about 37 kilometers, 23 miles, southwest of Inverness. The River Ness, which originates in the northern end, gave it its name. The Loch Ness Monster, affectionately referred to as Nessie, is the most famous cryptozoological creature associated with Loch Ness. It is one of many connected, murky bodies of water in Scotland. Because of the high peat concentration of the area's soil, its water visibility is especially low. The River Oich and a portion of the Caledonian Canal connect the southern end to Loch Oich. Although Loch Ness, at 56 square kilometers, 22 square miles, is the second biggest Scottish loch by surface area after Loch Lomond, it is the largest loch in the British Isles by volume because of its tremendous depth. After Loch Morar, it is the second deepest loch in Scotland with a maximum depth of 230 meters, 126 fathoms, 755 feet. It is the greatest body of water in the Great Glen, which extends from Inverness in the north to Fort William in the south, and contains more water than all of the lakes in England and Wales put together. There are 16 meters, 52 feet, above sea level on its surface. At the southwest corner of it is a solitary man-made island known as Cherry Island, Scottish Gaelic, Eilean Mirage. In addition to Urquhart Castle, there are 9 communities close to the loch. Drumnadrochid is home to the Loch Ness Centre and Exhibition. 1. Geography. Lake Ness is a large, freshwater loch in the Scottish Highlands southwest of Inverness that flows from southwest to northeast and measures around 37 kilometers, 23 miles, in length. Its surface area of 56 square kilometers, 22 square miles, second only to Loch Lomond in size in Scotland, makes it the largest loch by volume in the British Isles. Its deepest point, at 230 meters, places it behind Loch Morar as the deepest loch in Scotland. A 2016 study claimed to have found a crevice that reached a depth of 271 meters, 889 feet, but more investigation revealed that this was only a sonar anomaly. There are 16 meters, 52 feet, above sea level on its surface. It is the greatest body of water in the Great Glen, which extends from Inverness in the north to Fort William in the south, and contains more water than all the lakes in England and Wales put together. The Great Glen Fault, which creates a line of weakness in the rocks exposed by glacial erosion and resulting in the Great Glen in the basins of Loch Lochy, Loch Oich, and Loch Ness, runs along the Great Glen, where Loch Ness is located. Cherry Island, also known as Eilean Mirage, or Murdoch's Island in Scottish Gaelic, is the only small island in Loch Ness. It is a crannog, a man-made island that was probably built during the Iron Age. The island's size has decreased from its original dimensions of 160 feet by 168 feet by reason of the Caledonian Canal's construction in the early 19th century, which elevated the water level. Dog Island, Scottish Gaelic. Eilean nan Con, a second natural island that was once close by, was flooded when the sea level rose. In the 15th century, Cherry Island was home to a castle that was built of stone and oak wood and probably served as a fortified haven. It has been hypothesized that Eilean nan Con may have served as the residence for the hunting hounds while Eilean Mirage served as a hunting lodge. The loch is one of many connected, murky bodies of water in Scotland. Because of the high peat concentration of the area's soil, the loch's water visibility is unusually poor. The River Oich, which originates in Loch Oich, feeds the southern end. The northern end empties into Loch Dockfor through the Bona Narrows. According to the bathymetrical survey of the Scottish freshwater lochs, Loch Dockfor is separate from Loch Ness proper but can be viewed as a component of Loch Ness. The beginning of the River Ness, which joins the adjacent and ultimately flows through Inverness to the North Sea via the Moray Firth, is marked by the Dochgarrick Weir at the downstream end of Loch Dockfor. The Caledonian Canal, which connects the west coast of Scotland at Corpactha near Fort William with the east coast at Inverness, includes Loch Ness in its 60-mile, 100-kilometer, length. Only a third of the whole length is man-built. The remaining two-thirds is made up of rivers like the River Oich and lochs such as Loch Dockfor, Loch Ness, Loch Oich, and Loch Lochy. 2. The mystery starts now. When Saint Columba went swimming in Loch Ness in 565 AD, there was the first recorded sighting of Nessie. It can be found in Adamnan's Life of Saint Columba. Adamna claims that Saint Columba saw locals burying a man by the River Ness while he was visiting the Pictish homeland. They claimed that when the man was swimming in the river, a water beast attacked him, mauled him, and then dragged him underwater. Columba warned the beast not to go any farther as he made the sign of the cross. "Stay away from the dude. Go back immediately." The animal fled, then stopped as if it had been brought back with ropes. 3. Current sighting. The first modern sighting of Nessie was documented on April 14, 1933, when a couple claimed to have seen something strange while driving past Loch Ness. On a nearby road, John Mackay and his wife witnessed something resembling a whale as they drove through the freshwater loch. On May 2, 1933, the article was published in a newspaper. 4. Thinking carefully. The most expensive and extensive hunt for the monster to date was Operation Deepscan in 1987, which cost about £1 million. The largest hunt for Nessie concluded inconclusively after 3 days of probing the deep seas with cutting-edge sonar technology. Over Loch Ness, a flotilla of 24 boats had dispersed. The sonar device had located 3 substantial objects at a specific lake location, directly across from Urquhart Castle, at depths ranging from 256 to 590 feet. The sonar traces would be compatible with a species or creatures that are bigger than a shark but smaller than a whale, according to a researcher. On the second and third days of the operation, the boats sent to the same area of the lake failed to find any signs. 5. BBC? In 2003, the BBC funded a search for Nessie, but no creatures were located. The team investigated the waters using 600 different sonar beams and satellite navigation equipment to make sure that no part of the loch was missed. They thought that the air in Nessie's lungs would reflect a distorted signal back to the sonar sensors, allowing the equipment on their search boat to detect it. Later, scientists that participated in the BBC trip debunked the Loch Ness monster. 6. Simple, Nessie, my dear. The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes, a 1970 movie starring Christopher Lee and Robert Stevens, featured the Loch Ness monster. In 2016, Kongsberg Maritime used sonar to examine the loch bed and discovered the 30-foot-long model of the creator. The model is said to have sunk once the buoyant humps were taken off. 7. Medical appointments. In 1975's Terror of the Zygons, when Tom Baker's doctor saw the monster, the Loch Ness monster made 2 appearances in the television series Doctor Who. It was later discovered to be a scaracin, an alien species that was a pet of the shape-shifting Zygons. After attacking Parliament, it made its way back to Loch Ness. The evil alien Borat, tyrant of the planet Carful, was shown as escaping into the loch in a second story called Timelash, which was published in 1985 with Colin Baker's Doctor. It's rumored by fans that the scaracin devoured the Borat. Where are you, Loch Ness monster? The well-known animated dog travels to Scotland with his companions Shaggy, Fred, Velma, and Daphne to see Daphne's family at Blake Castle, the ancestral home of her Scottish ancestors. The Loch Ness monster recently terrorized the castle, as Daphne's cousin Shannon reveals. The castle grounds are currently hosting a Highland Games. Of course, in classic Scooby fashion, it's not actually a monster.